So today we are going to be looking at section 6, marketing. And for me, this is one of the better sections in the POB Principles of Business syllabus. For me, it's more fun and it's more engaging. This one you can really stretch your imagination. This section in particular, marketing, because marketing is something that you see every day. It's alive and well. It's dynamic. You see it all around you. You see people advertising for movies, you see them advertising for cars and clothing, you watch television, you see all of this marketing going on, people do merchandising, that kind of thing. Big movies like Avengers, you see Avengers have their cups in McDonald's and all over the place. And, marketing is a fun topic, at least for me. So let's start by looking at objective one, explain the concepts of market and marketing. So these are the first things we're going to look at. We're going to explain the concept of market and marketing. So let's just dive right into this one time. Markets and marketing. So, markets and marketing. So I know you see a lot of words on the screen right now, but I'm going to break it down into more in a simpler format. So, a market can mean the demand for a particular product or service, often measured by sales during a specified period. Okay, that's a bookish definition, dictionary definition. That's one. And next one, a place or institution in which buyers and sellers of goods or assets meet. A market was originally a physical location and still is for some goods, for example, cattle or fish market, and some services. In other cases, the market is a network of dealers linked by telephone and computer. Okay, and next, dictionary definition. And next one, an arena in which buyers and sellers exchange goods and services, usually for money. It does not have to be a physical location. So let's just stop right there for a second. It does not have to be a physical location. So in other words, what is a market? Now, a simple definition for a market is any situation that brings a buyer and a seller into contact to conduct business. So, any situation, we say situation because it can be over the phone, it can be via the internet, it can be in person, it can be in a place. So, it's any situation. So, a market is not just a place, it's not just a physical place. A market is any situation that brings a buyer and seller into contact to conduct business. We don't mean physical contact, just bring them into talks about whatever the transaction is about. So make sure you remember that keyword. A market is any situation that brings a buyer and a seller into contact to perform some kind of transaction, to perform some business transaction. So that's a market in a nutshell. Any situation. Now, in economics, a market can have a different explanation, and that's this one up here. At the demand for a particular product or service. So for economics, a market can be defined as, okay, let me just use a scenario. Shoes. If you want a pair of shoes, then you are that person that's in the market for a pair of shoes because you are the person who demands a pair of shoes. You want a pair of shoes right now. So there's a market for shoes. That's a shoes market. So there are different markets for different items. You have a telephone market out there. Apple controls. When I say Apple controls, majority of the phone market, that's what they're talking about for telephones. For the demand for telephone, Apple controls most of that for high end, I must say, because Samsung is really the one who controls most of the market for telephones. So you want a cell phone, the market leader is of course Samsung, and iPhone would be the market leader for the more high end. So that's an economics definition of a market. That's the demand for a particular product or service. So you want cars, there's a car market out, there's a market for cars, meaning there are people out there who want to buy cars. But for principles of business, a market can also be defined as any situation that brings a buyer and seller into contact to conduct their business. Now, marketing, on the other hand, marketing is the process of getting customers to buy a firm's product. As simple as that. So, marketing is the systematic way in which a company gets people to buy their products. It's a system, it's a process. Marketing. It's not just one time thing. It's a system, it's a process. So, it's anything, any means by which a company uses to get customers to buy their products, to get their products in the hands of the customers. So marketing is any system, any process that is used to get the products from the producer into the hands of the consumer. So it's not just advertising and posters and those kind of things. Marketing involves a whole lot more things. Okay, so you have distribution, advertising, you have to do research and those things. So marketing is any process that a company uses to get the goods from the producer to the consumer, or from their warehouses into the hands of the final consumer. So all the processes and systems involved in that, that's marketing. So it's a wide range of things. Even the price of the product is part of marketing. Research, part of marketing. Advertising is just one part of marketing. So you have your television and your posters. That's just one part of marketing. That's not the only part of marketing. Okay, so marketing is the process of getting customers to buy a firm's product. This involves making arrangements for distribution, advertising current products. It also covers market research to discover likely customers, reaction to potential new products, and whether possible modifications to existing products would improve their appeal. So all this comes under marketing. And as we dig deeper into this topic, you're going to understand how marketing goes. Okay. Location, national, worldwide market. So here we're looking at, a map of Jamaica, and we're looking at, different population areas and how you might want to approach marketing based on where, you're located. But we're not going into that just now. Let's continue. So we would have covered section 1, all right, objective 1, explain market and marketing. Okay, they say include nutrients such as social media marketing and integrated marketing must be included. So, of course, social media marketing again is the same thing. It's a way to get the products from the person who makes them to the final consumer. And if any of you all follow, like the Kardashians and stuff on Instagram, you know that they are marketing juggernauts, because I think Kylie Jenner has like, I think 100 and something followers on Instagram. So all she have to, a company have to do is pay her to speak about the product, and that would get it to the final customer because they see it in her feed and they want to buy it and things like that. So we're gonna look at social media marketing later on. Explain marketing activities. All right, so marketing activities. Let's start with market research and we're going to move down. All right, so some of these might overlap, and as we go on, you'll see what we're talking about. So, we're not marketing activities, so market research. Market research helps answer these questions. How big is the market? What are your main competitors? Do the consumers like your products? What are the strong? What is its strengths and weaknesses? What price would you charge? How would you advertise your products? All these things are what marketing research answers. Now, I know some people might want to start a business, so they just up and open a store without doing any market research. You don't even know if the people in that area want that product. You don't even know their taste. You don't even know these things. So you can't just up and open a business just like that. You have to conduct some form of research so you can know, okay, is it 100,000 people out there? Is it just 10,000 might want this product? Is it 5,000? Is it even worth it to go and venture into this area? We don't know. So that's why market research is crucial. What are your main competitors? So you want something, you might think your idea is brilliant and you're the only one who has it. Only to, if you do some research, to find out that this product has been there for a long time, and so you're just going to be a me too, So you don't really want that. So you do your research so you can know what to do, what price to charge. Suppose you go out to a new product and they charge way higher than the market rate, than what other people are charging. Nobody gonna buy your product. If you charge way below, then you're gonna be losing money. So you have to do your research to understand exactly what is going on. So let's continue looking at market research. Market research may use primary data or secondary data. What is primary data? What is secondary data? Primary data is the data you go out and collect yourself, okay? Your own data. This is a company's own sales data, direct observations. You can collect it by going to a supermarket and observing certain things. You can go and analyze your own information. So primary data is what you call first-hand data. That's what you actually go out and collect yourself about your customers, about your product, that kind of thing. You go and have a questionnaire, you go and have a survey, and you record the information. You go on to some observations. So primary data is what you go out and collect yourself, what the company itself handles. It's first hand information, first hand data. That's why they call it primary. You are the one who go out, collect it, analyze it, and record the information. Secondary data, on the other hand, is, as the name suggests, secondary or second hand data, second hand information. So this is information you collect on the internet, internet information found in books, in various publications from maybe the government, from the bank, that kind of stuff. This is information you get from competing companies. So secondary data is the information you find in books, on the internet, that you did not produce yourself, but somebody else did. So that's why they call it secondary or second-hand information. All this is still under market research. Okay. So other marketing activities include, of course, besides market research, you have pricing, you have packaging, you have branding, you have sales promotion, you have advertising and distribution. And some of the more key ones we're going to look at later on. Okay, we're going to pick out pricing, we're going to look at packaging, and we're going to look at sales and those things later on. Okay, so let's look at this one, consumer behavior. Okay, this would be which part of the syllabus? This would be section, let's see, section 4 in the syllabus. Factors that influence consumer behavior: price of substitutes, quality, taste, tradition, income, spending pattern, and brand loyalty. So let's look at those one by one. Consumer decisions: save money or spend it, which goods or services to buy, which brand to choose, how much to buy, large or small, when to buy. Okay, so all those are things you as a customer, you're going into a supermarket, these are things you might have to consider. All these are decisions you have to make. So what is it that influence your decision making process? We have firstly income and affordability, spending patterns, what comes first, that's prioritizing, price, price of substitute, rice or flour, quality, taste and preference, not just for food, tradition, and brand loyalty. So let's look at each of them individually. First things first, income and affordability. Now, this here is more of an economics question. This question is asking about factors that influence your demand. So, factors that influence what the consumer does, the consumer choice, the consumer's decision. So, income and affordability. So, here we go, income. Now, if you're working for minimum wage, then that would influence what you can afford or what you can't afford. So, based on your income, you go into a supermarket, you see two items. You see a brand name, you see a generic one. You see some okay, let's say you're buying macaroni and cheese. You go, you see a Kraft, or you go in and see maybe Grace. Normally, Kraft might be more expensive than the Grace, but based on how much you're working for, how much money you have, what your budget is, you might go for the cheaper one if you don't have a lot of money. If you're not rich, you don't have a lot of money, you might go for the cheaper alternative. But if money is not an issue for you, you got a lot of money, making a big money, making the big bucks, then you can afford more things and you can buy more expensive things because you have the money, you have the income. So your income can affect your decisions. If you're broke, you can't buy nothing. You have money, you can buy more things. As simple as that. You don't have the money, certain things you just can't buy. Certain things are too expensive for you. You can't go and buy a Lamborghini, you can't buy a Porsche. All right, if you don't have the money, you can't go and buy an Audi if you don't have the money. You can't buy a BMW. So okay, you don't have the money, so what are you gonna buy now? You're gonna buy maybe a Corolla, a Yaris, something cheaper. So your income and affordability affects your decision making process. That's one. Spending pattern. Again, what comes first? This is about prioritizing. You go to the supermarket. Before you go to the supermarket, you make your list. Of course, you're gonna put the staples on the list. You're gonna put your sugar, your rice, your toilet paper, your bread, those things. Those are priority items. If you have the extra money, you might put in a little ice cream or jello or fudge or chips or something. Those are more wants. Those are not necessities. So your decision in the supermarket is influenced by your priority in terms of what comes first, what is most important to you as a customer. Everything else, it would be after the fact. So this spending pattern, how you buy your things, priority first. As some people actually are wasteful. So some people might not even care about certain things. So your priority might be different. Some people might want to go and buy the junk food first, and then see if they get any money left over for the more important things. So it's about individual priorities. Your spending patterns. What do you think is most important to you? You might want to buy them first. The other things come after. Of course, this one, price. Price plays a major role in your decision making process, consumer behavior. Now, price is kind of tricky, and we'll look at price later on in marketing, but this is just an overview. Price. If something you see, you feel is too expensive, you're not going to buy it. If you feel it's too cheap, you're still not going to buy it because you're going to say, okay, why is it so cheap? The quality cannot be high, so you might not buy it. But if the price is just right, it rubs you the right way, then that might influence what you buy. So you're going to see two products. One is way cheap and one is way too expensive. More than likely, you might buy, you might not buy either, or you're going to seek something in the middle. So that's how price might influence how your decision making process. And of course, price is tied to your income because sometimes, based on your income, price might be an issue or might not be an issue. Okay, you might go and buy a pair of brand shoes. You want to buy with some shoes, you might see some Clarks. Okay, based on the price and your income, you might say, okay, I could afford this pair of Clarks. You buy them. If not, you might go and buy something a little cheaper. Okay, so price plays a major role in your consumer demand, your consumer behavior, customers' behavior. Price of substitute, and next thing. So most of us in the Caribbean, we eat rice, we eat pasta, you know, something made from flour. You might eat some cornflakes, some bread, but you have to look at the price of the substitute. So you go into a shop, you see butter, you see margarine. In your mind, they do the same thing. So what you're gonna do, based on your income, your budget, you might go with the more reasonably priced one. If one is too expensive, you go with the cheaper version because to you they do the same thing. One can be substituted for the other one. Same thing with maybe macaroni and rice. Price of rice gone down, macaroni gone up. You buy the rice because in your view, rice and macaroni can be substituted. Pork and chicken, butter, white meat. One cheaper than the other. You might go for the cheaper one because you can put one in place of the other. So that's what they're talking about price of substitute. If the price of one thing that can be substituted is cheaper, or even if it's more expensive, depends on your buying patterns, you might prefer one over the other. If you're some boasting person who want to buy everything most expensive, then of course, if something cheap, you go for the expensive alternative. You know, quality. Now, the quality of a product would influence your decision making process naturally. If you think something is faulty, you think something is an imitation, you think it's a knockoff, then you might not buy it. If you think something is high quality, well made, durable, then that's the one you might go for. As simple as that, the quality. Taste and preference, not just for food, what they're talking about here is that in economics, when you talk about taste, we're not talking about something you can consume only. We're talking about your taste in fashion, your taste at the moment, what you're feeling for, what your spirit takes at the moment. Okay, so you're looking at maybe you may want a rip up jean versus a normal straight jean. Based on your preference. You might go into a clothing store, you see two jean pants there, you see a slim, you see a skinny. Maybe you like I'm over the skinny thing, so you go for the slim. So taste and preference would influence what you purchase and how you behave as a consumer. Okay, so you might not want, some. Let's say you're buying a pair of shoes. You might want some leather shoes. You might want some sneakers. You might want some fashion sneakers. You might want some LeBrons or some Kyries. But what you're feeling based on your taste, that's gonna decide which angle you go, which side you roll to. So taste and preference play an important role in your decision making process. The good thing about all of this is that you live it every day. You go into a supermarket, you go into a store, you go and you live this every day. You have your taste, like, I'm not feeling this right now. Let me go this way. Or, okay, this is so old school, old fashioned. Nah, new thing, I go this way. Change. Your taste and your preference tend to change from time to time. Now let's jump down to tradition. Of course, that simply speaks to what you grew up seeing, how it is in your family. So if your family used to buy this kind of thing, this product, then more than likely you might buy it. If your family used to shop with a certain style, more than likely that's the way you're gonna do it. So tradition is about the things that you grew up seeing and you decide to carry on. Now this right here is an interesting one. Brand loyalty. What is brand loyalty? Brand loyalty speaks to how you perceive, how you see a certain brand of products. For example, if you're into electronics, let's say you're into phones, you might have bought a Samsung Galaxy S6 and it lasted for like 5 years. Everything you want to do, it do for you. So you all of a sudden grew an affinity towards Samsung products. So anyhow, anytime you're going to buy a phone, because of how the first one treated you so well, you're going to stick to your Samsung because you ain't failed you yet. So you can become loyal to the Samsung brand. So when the next one drop, you can be like, okay, I buy the next Samsung, and next Samsung, next Samsung. All right, so that's what brand loyalty is all about. You end up having a connection to a brand based on how well that brand has treated you over the use of that product. Same thing with clothing. Some people are die-hard Adidas fans, some are die-hard Nike fans, some are die-hard Reebok or whatever. So it's about how if you buy a pair of Air Force and they last you all school year, maybe next year you might buy an next pair of Air Force because you know for a fact it's gonna last me all school year. They're comfortable. I'm gonna rock these. Okay, same thing. Buy a pair of Harachi. The Harachi might, they start the mesh area start eating out and start bursting and you're like, okay, no, this ain't really something. So you go to a next brand, treats you well, and you stick to that brand. Okay, same thing with maybe televisions. You have a nice LG TV, Samsung TV, lasts you for a good while. So your next purchase is gonna be LG or Samsung because that's the brand you develop a loyalty to because it treated you nicely over the use of that product. Okay, so some brand loyalty can be a very, very serious thing that decides how or what you buy. Companies would be happy if you develop a brand loyalty. I know some people, it's all about Apple. They have the MacBook, they have the iPhone, they have the iPad, they have the Beats, they have the Apple EarPods, they have everything Apple. Anything Apple make, that's them. Once it's computer and Apple, that's them. Some people have the reverse. They have Microsoft, you have the Surface Book, you have the Xbox, you have whatever. All right, so brand loyalty, somebody who just loves a certain brand and they stick to it, and that will influence how their purchasing decisions. Okay, so let's look at the syllabus again and see where we're at. Okay, so we would have covered what influences consumer behavior. We look at brand loyalty, income, tradition, taste, quality, price of substitutes, and prices. So we would have covered subsection 4 under marketing. So let's go down. This is where we start breaking down marketing into its finer pieces. We're going to start looking at the other sections of marketing right down till we find things like marketing mix and those things. So right now we are at section 5, but let's go. Should we go back up? Yes, we're going to go back up to section 3 and just knock off marketing mix one time. Okay, so let's go into marketing mix. What is the marketing mix? Marketing mix. Marketing activities and marketing mix. What is the marketing mix? Okay, now this is a very interesting concept. This is the cornerstone or the backbone for marketing, the marketing mix. Most companies use this concept to determine how their products are going to be placed out there to you, the general public. So, what exactly is the marketing mix? Another name for the marketing mix would be the 4 P's. One, two, three, four. Product, promotion, price, and place. When you combine all these, they're called the marketing mix. So the marketing mix is the 4 P's: product, promotion, price, and place. The product, the right product for the market; promotion, advertising, public relations, displays, etc. Price, high enough for profit, low enough for stimulate demand. Place, where and how the product is sold. So we're going to break them down one at a time. So you have the product, promotion, the price, and the place. You combine them, they're called the marketing mix or the 4 P's. Now, this mix is what companies use to put their product out there. So they can mix it. It can either be, high price with low advertising, high quality product, low price, whatever. So this mix is how they present the offering to you, the customer. So we're going to look at these individually. Okay, we're going to start with product and we're going to move on. All right, product, place, price, promotion. Which of these are shown here? What's the answer for that one? Which of these are shown here? Well, I would say all. You see the price, you see the product, you see the place, supermarket, and you see the promotion right there. All right. So all of them are shown in this shot. So let's look at the product. All right. Product. Find the right focus. So product focus. The product is fixed. A marketing strategy is needed to sell it. Local distributors need product focus when selling imported products designed for the world market. Consumer focus starts with consumer needs and preferences. The product is developed and adjusted to satisfy consumers. Local manufacturers and services industries may use consumer focus to develop products. So there are two approaches when looking at the product. All right, so you have the product focus, that's the actual physical product, and then you have the consumer focus where you look at the consumer first and say, okay, what product can match that consumer? Now, famous companies like Apple, that Apple would use this one, the product focus. So they make a product and then they actually sell you a product that you don't even know you need. Companies like Apple, because Apple don't really invent anything, they simply take what's out there and make it better. Like people did not know they need tablets before Apple launched the iPad because tablets were out there before, but nobody was buying them. But after Apple launched the iPad, people were like, "Oh, okay, I can use this for entertainment, for work, that kind of thing." So that's a product focused approach to marketing. The product is fixed. So let's keep using Apple as an example here. Product focus. The product is fixed. You have the iPad. A marketing strategy is needed to sell it. Of course, the iPad, the strategy is it replaces or it can be used in place of a laptop or a desktop. So that's where they might place the iPad, especially when you have the keyboard attachment. So it's portable. It's more portable than a laptop, but it's had productivity of a desktop. So that would be one where they can focus the iPad. Local distributors need product focus, selling imported goods designed for the world market. Of course, if you are a local distributor, you have to find a way to get local to think that they need an iPad or something like that. So the product is the actual physical thing that you are selling. In the four P's in the marketing mix, the product is the actual thing you are selling. It could be the phone, the iPad, whatever. The product is the physical thing you're selling and all of its features. That's what you're selling. Our customer focus approach to the product is you start with the customer needs and preference, and then you work your way up. The product is developed and adjusted to satisfy customers. Local manufacturers and service industries may use customer focus to develop this product. So what they're saying is that they're gonna have like focus groups. You bring in some people and they allow them to use the product, and you note the responses to how they to the product, and then you develop the product accordingly. Okay, so the product is not too hard to understand, right? So the product is the actual physical thing that you're selling within the marketing mix. So that's it basically for the product. And the next video, I don't want to go too long. We're gonna look at the other the other parts of the marketing mix, like price and promotion and those things, because price can take a while to explain. So we're gonna look at that next. All right. So feel free to hit the notification bell, like and subscribe, so you know when the video drops.